Did you kill
and I've been in touch. Hell, I wouldn't kill Rebecca Zahau. I never touched her. And I was in that guest house, and that's all I can tell you. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just so insulting that somebody would waste their time killing Rebecca Zahau.
In the heart of Phalam, a small town nestled in the landscapes of northwestern Burma, Rebecca Zahau was born on March 15, 1979. Growing up in a bustling household filled with the warmth of her family, Rebecca was surrounded by a tight-knit circle of women. Her older sister Mary exuded a sense of responsibility, while her younger sister Zena brought an infectious energy to their home. Rebecca's teenage sister Snuram completed the family, adding her unique charm to their lively household. The Zahau family was deeply rooted in their faith, adhering to the teachings of Protestantism. They believed that their daughters were destined for greatness, a conviction that propelled them to seek opportunities beyond the borders of Burma. Their journey took them to Germany and Nepal, where they embraced new cultures and experiences. Eventually, they settled in the United States, finding their home in New York and California. In America, Rebecca blossomed. Her middle name, Maui, which translates to Beautiful One, perfectly captured her radiant essence. With her captivating personality and compassionate nature, Rebecca had a knack for making people smile. She possessed an uncanny ability to lift spirits, even on the gloomiest of days. Her warmth and generosity extended beyond her immediate circle, as she readily offered help to those in need, never hesitating to share what she had. In her late teens, Rebecca pursued her spiritual calling at the Calvary Chapel Bible College in Austria. It was there that she met Neil Lepera, a man 13 years her senior who hailed from Scottsdale, Arizona. Their hearts intertwined, and in 2002 they exchanged vows, embarking on a journey of love and companionship. The couple relocated to Phoenix, where Rebecca found employment as a technician at an eye clinic. Their marriage, however, faced its challenges, and after 8 years together, they decided to part ways in 2011. During this period of transition, Rebecca experienced turmoil and personal struggles. She wasn't immune to mistakes, but she possessed the resilience to learn and grow from her experiences. In 2009, she faced legal consequences for shoplifting, having stolen a piece of jewelry worth thousands of dollars. While still legally married to Neil, Rebecca found solace and companionship in a prominent individual named Jonah Shacknai. Jonah, a successful businessman, was the founder, chairman, and CEO of Medici's Pharmaceutical Corporation, a multi-million-dollar enterprise headquartered in Bridgewater, New Jersey. The company specialized in manufacturing and selling products that addressed acne and facial wrinkles. Jonah's wealth and status afforded him a lavish lifestyle, and he ranked among the highest-paid CEOs in Arizona, earning a staggering $6.4 million in 2010. Rebecca and Jonah's paths crossed while she worked as a technician at the eye clinic. Their connection blossomed into a serious relationship, despite the complexities of Rebecca's marriage to Neil and Jonah's 2 previous marriages. Jonah's first marriage ended in a contentious 3-year custody battle over his 2 daughters, while his second marriage to Dina Romano produced a son named Maxfield Aaron, affectionately known as Max. Max, born in 2005, brought immense joy to his family. However, his parents' marriage did not withstand the test of time, and they divorced before 2011. Rebecca, driven by her love for Jonah and her desire to be a part of his life, relinquished her job at the Valley Eye Clinic. She dedicated herself to caring for Jonah's children, putting her own aspirations on hold to create a harmonious family unit. Rebecca's new life unfolded in the grandeur of the Spreckles Mansion, a historic estate situated on Ocean Boulevard in the resort city of Coronado, San Diego. The 10,500 square foot oceanfront mansion boasted 27 rooms and a separate guest house. From the outside, Rebecca's existence appeared idyllic, a modern-day fairy tale of a Burmese immigrant living in opulence with a wealthy businessman. Yet, beneath the veneer of luxury, Rebecca's life was far from perfect. Rough patches emerged, particularly involving Jonah's 2 teenage daughters from his first marriage. Resentment and tension filled the air, reaching a point where Rebecca contemplated ending her relationship with Jonah or at least putting it on hold. However, Rebecca found solace and a deep connection with Jonah's youngest child, 6-year-old Max. Rebecca embraced Max as her own, showering him with love and care. She attended his soccer practices, read him bedtime stories, played with him, and prepared his meals. Their bond grew stronger each day, and Rebecca felt a sense of belonging as Max's stepmother. Tragedy, however, struck on July 11, 2011, shattering the fragile peace that had settled upon the Shacknai household. Jonah was away on business, leaving Rebecca in charge of his children. She was confident in her ability to keep them safe and well cared for. Rebecca, Max, and Rebecca's younger sister, Zena, who was visiting from Missouri, were all present in the home. As Rebecca tended to her personal needs in the bathroom, a tremendous crash echoed through the house. Alarmed, she rushed out, calling for Max and her sister. The replies she longed for never came. With a sinking heart, Rebecca peered over the banister and was met with a horrifying sight. Max's tiny body lay face down on the floor, a fallen chandelier beside him. Blood, a stark reminder of the tragedy that had unfolded, stained the scene. Zena, acting swiftly, dialed 911. Max, unresponsive and gravely injured, was rushed to Rady Children's Hospital, the largest pediatric hospital in California. The medical team battled to save Max's life, but the injuries he sustained were severe. He had fallen face first over a second-floor banister, resulting in extensive facial and spinal cord injuries. The hyperextension of his spinal cord caused his heart to stop, depriving his brain of oxygen for nearly 30 minutes. Despite the valiant efforts of the first responders, Max suffered irreparable brain damage. 5 agonizing days later, his young body succumbed to the trauma, leaving an immeasurable void in the hearts of those who loved him. The Coronado Police Department, led by Commander Mike Lawton, launched a thorough investigation into Max's untimely demise. On July 26, they concluded that Max's death was an accident. Lawton explained that Max had been running down the hallway at the top of the stairs when he tripped and fell over the railing. In his desperate attempt to regain balance, he grabbed onto a chandelier, but the force of the impact caused him to strike a banister on a stairway landing, ultimately leading to his tragic fall. However, Max's mother, Dina Romano, a clinical psychologist specializing in child and family relations, held a different belief. A year after her son's passing, she petitioned to reopen Max's case based on new forensic evidence she had commissioned. Dr. Judy Melinek, a forensic pathologist at the San Francisco Medical Examiner's Office, reviewed the case and presented findings that contradicted the police's initial conclusion. Dr. Melinek asserted that Max was too small to have flown over the railing and that his injuries were not consistent with the cardiac arrest and brain swelling attributed to his fall. The medical examination suggested the possibility that Max may have been assaulted and suffocated before his fatal fall. Despite these revelations, Dina Romano did not name a suspect, and the police declined to reopen Max's case, standing firm on their original conclusion that it was a tragic accident. As the Shacknai family grappled with Max's passing, another tragedy unfolded just 2 days later, shaking the core of the Zahau family. On July 12, the day after Max's accident, Rebecca was found dead under mysterious circumstances. She dropped off her sister Zena at the airport. Later that day, she picked up Jonah's younger brother Adam, who had flown in from Memphis, Tennessee, to be with his brother and nephew during this difficult time. Adam, a 48-year-old tugboat pilot, stayed in the guest house on the sprawling Spreckles Mansion property, while Rebecca remained alone in the main house. Details of what transpired that evening are shrouded in uncertainty, but reports of loud music emanating from the mansion filled the night air. As the hours passed, something went terribly wrong. The following morning, around 6:45 a.m., Adam awoke to a chilling scene on the mansion's courtyard balcony. A body, later identified as Rebecca's, hung lifelessly from the bedroom balcony. Her hands were bound behind her back, her ankles tied together with a red rope, and a blue long-sleeved t-shirt was wrapped tightly around her head, the sleeves double-knotted and stuffed into her mouth. Adam, in a state of shock, made the heart-wrenching call to 911. Emergency responders arrived promptly and attempted to resuscitate Rebecca, but their efforts proved futile. She was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 days after Max's tragic end, Rebecca had met her own untimely demise, leaving her loved ones reeling from an unimaginable loss. The San Diego Sheriff's Department immediately launched an investigation into Rebecca's death. The scene they encountered was puzzling and disturbing. Inside Rebecca's room, they found the red rope used to bind her body, one end tied to the bed's footboard and the other leading to the balcony where she had been found. Her toe and heel prints were discovered near the rope, a seemingly ordinary detail in a case of this nature. However, what set this case apart was the presence of a book titled Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft on the bed. The book contained illustrations of an unclothed woman with her hands tied behind her back. On the door of the bedroom, a cryptic message, written in black paint, read, "She saved him. Can you save her?" Investigators believe this to be Rebecca's final note, a message that left more questions than answers. Rebecca's DNA was found on the knots of the rope and on a kitchen knife she had used to cut the rope. Her hands and the rope bore traces of black paint. No other DNA or fingerprints were detected at the scene. The autopsy results revealed instances of head trauma, which, according to San Diego medical examiner Jonathan Lucas and German-American forensic pathologist Werner Spitz, were sustained as Rebecca fell from the balcony. The evidence, as presented by the Sheriff's Department, seemed to point towards a conclusion of suicide. They theorized that Rebecca, overwhelmed by remorse for Max's accident just 2 days prior, had taken her own life. In September 2011, the Sheriff's Department formally announced their findings, stating that Rebecca had committed suicide out of guilt. However, Rebecca's family vehemently rejected the official narrative. They fought tirelessly to prove that her death was not self-inflicted but a case of homicide. They questioned the thoroughness of the investigation, pointing out inconsistencies and, for one, there was forensic evidence suggesting that Rebecca may have been hit on the head, a detail that was downplayed by the medical examiner. A lie detector test administered to Adam yielded inconclusive results. The police had failed to download information from Adam's cell phone or retrieve messages sent to Rebecca on the night of her death. Upon the Zahau family's request, a second autopsy was conducted by pathologist Dr. Cyril Wecht. His findings contradicted the initial conclusion, suggesting that fractures in Rebecca's throat were caused by manual strangulation rather than hanging. This revelation cast doubt on the theory of suicide and raised the possibility that Rebecca's demise may not have been at her own hands. Further discrepancies in the Sheriff's Department's investigation came to light, including evidence of intimate violation before Rebecca's death. The Zahau family pointed their finger at one possible suspect, Max Shacknai. In February 2018, Rebecca's family filed a $10 million wrongful death lawsuit against Adam, accusing him of conspiring with Dina, Max's mother, and her twin sister Nina in the killing of Rebecca. Their motive, they alleged, was payback for Max's accident while he was under Rebecca's care. Shortly after Max's accident, at 10:48 p.m., Rebecca had received a text message from Nina, who wanted to stop by the house to discuss Max's accident. Rebecca did not respond. Surveillance footage showed that Dina and Nina were with Jonah at the hospital the night Rebecca died, but the sisters were eventually dropped from the case, leaving Adam as the sole defendant. Rebecca's family's attorney, Keith Greer, argued that Adam beat Rebecca, his brother's girlfriend, during a confrontation about Max's accident, then intimately violated and throttled her. They suggested that Adam staged Rebecca's death to make it appear self-inflicted. Adam's defense attorney countered that there was no evidence connecting him to Rebecca's death. He emphasized that Rebecca's fingerprints and DNA were found on the knife and rope she used to bind herself, and that Adam had already been questioned and cleared by homicide investigators in 2011. After a month-long civil trial in April 2018, a 12-member jury found Adam guilty of Rebecca's death in a 9-3 vote. They awarded $5.2 million to the Zahau family for loss of love and companionship and an additional $167,000 for financial support that Rebecca could have provided to her family. However, since it was a civil trial, a unanimous verdict was not required, and Adam would not face any criminal charges or be sentenced to prison. In December 2018, The San Diego Sheriff's Department announced that it would not change its initial findings in the case, citing the fact that civil verdicts are often appealed. In February 2019, Adam appealed the judgment, arguing procedural errors and juror misconduct. However, before the final arguments could be presented to the judge, Adam's insurance company and the Zahau family reached a $600,000 settlement. This resulted in the dismissal of the civil case and the vacating of the original $5.2 million judgment. The settlement angered Adam, who claimed it was done behind his back. He criticized the judge for allowing the settlement to be reached without input from himself or his attorney. The judge responded by stating that the settlement put an end to the civil case, but the jury verdict finding Adam Shacknai guilty of murdering Rebecca Zahau in a civil court still stood. Despite the civil verdict, the Zahau family remained determined to see Adam behind bars. In August 2019, they offered a $100,000 reward for anyone who could provide information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible for Rebecca's death. The Zahau family's unwavering pursuit of justice for Rebecca continues to this day. They believe that she fought for her life on the night of her death and left behind clues that were overlooked or ignored. They refuse to give up until Adam is held accountable for his alleged role in Rebecca's tragic demise. Don't hesitate to let me know what you think in the comments section, and please like and subscribe. This will help my channel to grow. Thank you for watching.